It's recorded. So we're right. Welcome everyone to the extraordinary council meeting on the 12th of May. A webcast of this meeting will be published to council's website at www.liverpoolplains.newsouthwales.gov.au so that it is available for viewing by members of the public. Can we please stand for Councillor Terry Cohen to recite the acknowledgement of the country and the council agreement.
Today we gather on the land of the Gomeroi Nation. We therefore need to acknowledge the traditional owners and custodians of this land. We also pay our respects to the Aboriginal elders, both past and present, and further extend that respect to other adults who have joined us today. Council prayer. Lord, we ask that you watch over this council, guide us in our deliberations and decisions for the betterment of all the people of our shire and Australia.
Thank you, Councillor Cohen. Are there any apologies or applications for leave of absence? We have 2.1, an application to attend via audio visual link. A recommendation of Council 1, accept the application submitted by Councillor James Robinson and Councillor Charlie Simpson to attend the meeting by audio visual link. Do I have a motion, please? Councillor Cohen, do I have a second, please? Councillor Lawson. Does the mover wish to speak to the motion?
No,
anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? If not, all in favour? Against? Carried. Unanimously. Thank you. Disclosures of interest. Are there any conflicts of interest in matters under consideration of the ordinary meeting in accordance with Part 4 and Part 5 of the Code of Conduct? No. Disclosures of interest. 4.1 Public exhibition. Draft Community Strategic Plan for 2026 to 2035. The recommendation that Council 1 endorse the Draft Community Strategic Plan appended at Annexure A for public exhibition, and 2, receive a further report regarding the Draft Community Strategic Plan at the June ordinary meeting following completion of the public exhibition period. Do I have a motion, please? Councillor Lawson. Do I have a second? Councillor Kane. Does the mover wish to speak to the motion?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Councillor Lawson.
Just to say that this is the public exhibition of the delivery program, operational plan and the fees and charges scheduled for 2025-26. So it's important that user groups in particular and anyone else is with all the fees and charges of the council over the next 12 months, that they should check that schedule, and we will of course be accepting submissions on that for the 28 days once it goes into public exhibition.
Anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? So if not, all in favour? Against? Carried unanimously. Thank you. 4.2 Public exhibition. The draft combined delivery program for 2026-2029 and operational plan 2025-2026, including draft fees and charges scheduled for 2025-2026. The recommendation that Council 1 endorse the draft combined delivery program for 2026-2029 and operational plan 2025-2026. Appended at Annexure A for public exhibition, and 2, endorse the draft fees and charges scheduled for 2025-2026, appended at Annexure B for public exhibition, and 3, receive a further report regarding the draft combined delivery program for 2026-2029 and operational plan 2025-2026, and draft fees and charges schedule 2025-2026. At the June ordinary meeting following the completion of the public exhibition period. Do I have a motion, please? Councillor Allen. For second, please. Councillor Lawson. Does the mover wish to speak to the motion?
No, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Anyone else wish to speak for or against the motion? Councillor Cohen.
Mr. Mayor, just a question in relation to the fees and charges in relation to the Longfield area covered by our line and new lighting over there. In raising fees and charges in relation to the user groups for this particular establishment, was there any consideration given to, or any thought given, or any calculations made on what these lights might be charging, and whether we should be seriously looking at a user pay system in relation to the use of those lights?
For the General Manager.
Mr. Mayor, so we certainly have looked at the fees of the lights. We haven't got a good usage handle on what every group uses since we've been able to monitor it. So the monitoring shown to date, calculations would be in the order about $8 an hour for training lights and $16 an hour for playing lights. It's about the electrical charge of the usage for those lights. And then we need to consider the life cycle of the lights, how long they might last for. But at this point in time, we don't have any usage data for soccer or actually for soccer. A bit for touch footy, a bit for cricket, and a bit for rugby league on how they use them over the season, but that's about the limit of the data that we have. So I only started recording data from about the 25th of October last year.
Thank you, Mr. Scully. Mr. Councillor Cohen.
Thank you, Mr. Scully and Mr. Mayor. The app that's used to operate the lights, is it capable of giving us that information that you're looking for? So if we've got an hourly usage or close to 2 hour usage at the moment, why can we not then raise our fees as to use of ground as a set fee for user groups, and then just add into our fees and charges the fact that we will be charging those users on an hourly basis going forward, and then just have meetings with user groups and let them know that this is what we anticipate doing, and give them an idea of how much it's going to cost them per hour, and then we will have a better handle on exactly what, how we treat them, some of these costs.
Councillor Cohen, do you want to remark from the bench, or are you happy?
Well, Mr. Mayor, I just want to know whether it's a consideration we can take on board at some time, and maybe either amend our fees and charges to be in that order, or whether we can amend them after it actually been passed and go back and make an amendment to them at a time that goes forward.
General Manager.
Thank you, Councillor Cohen. What we can do, given the fees and charges that have been endorsed today for public exhibition, so that gives us a 28-day window, we can do some more work internally and then come up with a potential solution.
Councillor Cohen.
Yeah, thanks.
Councillor Lawson.
Sorry for the confusion, I jumped the gun with the previous comment because I was looking at the wrong page, sorry. So that was actually in regards to this one that people should have a look at this and see what the new usage charges will be, also contained within those things like water. So certainly we can have a look there, and it's a submission. Thank you.
And I personally sort of think that we should try and send something out to each user group, say, the fees and charges are there, look into your own section, so everyone's aware. They can't sort of say we didn't know, whatever else, so just how we do that, yeah, to the start. But I think we should let everybody know what's going on, because generally no one looks at it because it's a huge document, so they don't really know what applies to them. It's water, electricity, everything else. We've got to be probably careful to charge sometimes the exact usage, because it might make it unprofitable for organisations. But, council should subsidise some part of the sporting complex, but that's up for us to make that deliberation later on when we've got more data. But anyway, Is there anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? Councillor Kane.
Mr. Mayor, just a question regarding two items. One being our tech fees on page 141 of the document. And after our previous issues with skip bins being conditioned for tip, I see the document still is quoting cubic metres, not as I thought we had made an arrangement that we were going to use weight or compressed weight to charge some of these users. We still are showing there that it's over and above a cubic metre or a cubed measurement, including on the trailer sizes, which one is still a massive jump from a small, what would be the 64 trailer. So I'm just wondering, is that being just forgotten, or aren't we going to adopt a weight charge now? Thank you.
Through the General Manager.
Mr. Mayor, apologies, that was an oversight. The intention is to do it via tonnages with the weighbridge that will be installed in the landfill. So we'll double check that and make sure the figures align for the tonnes as well.
Councillor Kane, number two.
Mr. Mayor, number two is page 147, just regarding our playing fitness fees. And I was just wondering if we're in line with other organisations. I noticed our membership fee for adults is $43. And I'm just looking at other organisations, they are quite considerably higher than us. So are we basing our membership fee on best practice, or are we somewhat subsidising? I'm just asking that question because in our business plan now we're going to spend a considerable amount of money on playing fitness. I hate to think that our joining fee rates let us down and get to the rate that, next time we do have to make an adjustment, it's a very large adjustment. So I'm not sure what the previous year was, but $43 is our fee. On an average, I've just had a quick squeezy in town with, for instance, our closest users or gyms, and they're upwards to 55 and beyond. So we're a little bit down. So I'm just wondering, is that a market-based price, or is that being considered that we might be falling behind the benchmark when it comes to time we do have to make a membership increase? Thank you.
General Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, we do analysis with our competitors. And I use inverted commas there because Tamworth is somewhat away. And I think the other thing to be cognizant of is the difference in the services that are provided and what facilities that we do have. My view is that's a fortnightly basis. So that actually is quite a substantial amount when it multiplies itself out over the 26 weeks of the year. And we've got to find that balance between what's affordable and allows people to access the facility, as well as what our costs are in running the facility. In the last 12 to 18 months, there's been quite a substantial increase in the usage of the facility, which reflects the council's investment or the state government's investment in the facility, and obviously council's management of it and promotion of the facility, which is a good thing for the community. That we've now got, I think it's in excess of 310 people who are active members of that facility, which I think is fantastic.
Mr. Ross, right. Thank you, Councillor Kane. So anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? Councillor Lawson.
I was just going to say, you made a comment earlier about, maybe council should be subsidising some of the sporting fields and that. I believe that there is a certain amount already subsidised within those user group fees. You'll see in the fees and charges document, it will actually have like percentage recovery. Some will say full recovery, some will say 30% recovery, things like that. Most of them are at the same rate for the sporting fields, and it's a significant amount that council covers the cost of. All those organisations.
Very true, Councillor Lawson. But it's a bit like waste. We have the council pick up the other day, which is free, I think, from what I can gather. I'm just seeing here, there's a mattress for $68, and I don't know how many mattresses were located around Corinda, and we've got no way of just doing anything with them if the tip they just get put underground, which is, and it says here it's 100% recovery. I'm not quite sure how that works. But anyway, if there's no one else wishing to speak for or against the motion, you're right, Councillor James Watson, you're right.
Yep.
All in favour? Against? Carried unanimously, thank you. 4.3, public exhibition of the draft long-term financial plan for 2026 to 2035. The recommendation that Council 1 endorse the draft long-term financial plan of 2026 to 2035, appended with Annexure A for public exhibition. 2, notes the draft long-term financial plan 2026 to 2035 is a guide for council decision making into the future and does not commit council to any of the actions modelled within the scenarios contained in the plan. And 3, receive a further report regarding the long-term financial plan at the June ordinary meeting following completion of the public exhibition period. Do I have a motion, please? Councillor Lawson, second, please. Councillor Cowan. Does the member wish to speak to the motion?
Yes, thank you, Mr Mayor.
Councillor Lawson.
Just to stress that council is required to put forward these 3 scenarios, being the base case scenario 1 and scenario 2. We had quite a lot of discussion in the workshop around what these other 2 scenarios mean. I believe that we had agreed to name them in a way that made it clearer to the public that they're not actually paths that council is necessarily going to take, but I see they still have the same names. So I just wondered if we were still going to make that change.
Good to do that.
Thank you, Councillor Lawson. So we did have that discussion internally after the workshop. And for different reasons, we concluded that we couldn't actually, the terms that we discussed in the workshop, which were conservative and optimistic scenario, pessimistic and optimistic, because of what had been modelled in those scenarios, we didn't feel that they were entirely reflective, in that they're both slightly conservative, shall we say, but we will ensure in our communications with our community and our customers that we make it clear that this is simply a modelling tool, and as you rightly pointed out, this does not commit council into a certain course of action or implementing a certain strategy. It's just a modelling tool to guide our decision making.
That's awesome.
Thank you for explaining that. That's understandable. Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? If not, all in favour? Against? Carried unanimously. Thank you. Five point one, public exhibition of the asset management plans. The recommendation that Council 1 endorse the following draft asset management plans for public exhibition. A, draft aerodrome asset management plan, appended at Annexure A. B, draft buildings asset management plan as appended at Annexure B. C, draft fleet asset management plan as appended at Annexure C. D, draft parks and recreation management asset management plan as appended at Annexure D. E, draft transportation asset management plan as appended at Annexure E. And F, draft centralised wastewater asset management plan as appended at Annexure F. And G, draft town water supplies asset management plan as appended at Annexure G. And 2, place the draft asset management strategy appended at Annexure H for public exhibition. And 3, receive a further report regarding the draft asset management strategy and asset management plans at the June ordinary meeting following completion of the public exhibition period. Do I have a motion, please? Councillor Kane. Seconder, please. Councillor Lawson. Yeah. Does the mover wish to speak to the motion?
No, Mr Mayor.
Anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? If not, all in favour? Against? Carried unanimously, thank you. Item 6, the confidential matter. We have one report to consider in confidential. The statutory post-election organisation structure review. Can I have a mover to move to confidential, please? That's Cohen. Have a seconder, please. Councillor Kane. All in favour? Against? Carried unanimously.
Yep, stop.